Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, January 29, 2025. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has announced a $315 million allocation for repairs to homes, in particular roofs, that were damaged during the weather systems that affected the island between July and December last year. Each constituency will receive $5 million and the money is intended for the most vulnerable households.
While the amounts to be recommended for the beneficiary are at the discretion of the Member of Parliament, grants should be within the range of $70,000 to $100,000 to make meaningful improvements to roofs, windows, and sideboardings to ensure that more Jamaican shelters can withstand the next heavy rainfall, tropical depression, or hurricane.
The Prime Minister outlined the initiative during a statement to the House of Representatives yesterday. He says the need is evident even after government's distribution of more than 14,000 burial recovery grants, with still many other households requiring support, most of them to address leaky roofs. Persons who are already beneficiaries of the Hurricane Relief Grant will not be able to benefit from this new allocation. The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation's National Spatial Data Management Branch has mapped every registered hardware and haberdashery across the island and will be making this information available to the Members of Parliament.
This comprehensive map will not only provide Members of Parliament with a complete list of all the hardware stores in their constituency, but the data has also been spatially represented. This means that at a glance, Members of Parliament will be able to see where each hardware store is located in relation to the household in need of assistance. This will ensure that materials can be sourced locally, reducing transportation costs and improving the efficiency of the program.
Staff of the Constituency Development Fund, the Urban Renewal Program, and of other units within the ministry will be leveraged to assist in the assessment process. In a historic move, government has brought legislation to Parliament seeking to establish Portmore as Jamaica's 15th parish. Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie tabled the Counties and Parishes Amendment Act 2025 during yesterday's sitting of the House of Representatives. This would be the first time a new parish is being established in post-colonial Jamaica. As outlined in the Memorandum of Objects and Reasons, granting parish status to the current Portmore municipality will strengthen its lobbying capacity and facilitate autonomous management of allocated resources. The move is also expected to empower its citizens to more independently chart the course of development rather than being subject to decisions being made for the parish of St. Catherine. The bill outlines the proposed borders for the parish, starting at the point where the St. Catherine and St. Andrew parish boundary meets at the Nelson Mandela Highway, easterly along the Fresh River. It also proposes the area for the city of Portmore to include the lands east of North Ascot, comprising the Portmore Municipal Corporation and the police station, as well as land south of Brayton Parkway, comprising the Inland Revenue Department and commercial entities, and portions of Naggohead and lands north of Brayton Road. 100 roads across the island will commence under the Spark program before the end of this financial year in March. Minister with responsibility for the Works portfolio, Robert Morgan, gave the update during this morning's post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House. He says 40 of the roads will be announced in a week's time and the other 60 over a 2-month period. Minister Morgan addressed concerns about why the $40 billion road program has not yet started.
The reason is that we are not going to be wasting taxpayers' money. We have to do the proper designs, we have to do the proper assessment of the roads. There are some roads that require land acquisition, there are some roads that require extensive pipe works, there are some roads that require realignment.
Jamaica's mass casualty response system had a successful test a few days ago, with a full-scale simulation of a large plane crash and the subsequent search and rescue and medical attention for victims. The simulation, which was the final activity under the multinational exercise event Horizon 2025, was held at the Ken Jones Aerodrome in Portland. It was spearheaded by the Jamaica Defence Force and the Ministry of Health and Wellness, with the involvement of several key local and international entities. Director of Emergency Disaster Management and Special Services in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Dr. Nicole Dawkins-Wright, explains that the simulation exercise tested Jamaica's National Mass Rescue Operations Plan. It also reviewed the ministry's mass casualty incident plan and the country's incident command systems. She says it reinforces training that would have been done and allowed for identification of areas that need strengthening. The Jamaica Fire Brigade, JFB, is reporting a decrease in the number of emergency calls received in 2024. Commissioner of the Brigade, Stuart Beckford, says 2024 was an active year as firefighters responded to 19,133 calls. This is a 5% reduction when compared to the 20,152 calls received in 2023.
Genuine fires accounted for 9,775, reflecting a decrease of 1,614 or 14.4% when compared to the figures for 2023, where we had 11,389 genuine fires.
Mr. Beckford was speaking at a recent JIS think tank. He reveals that of the total number of genuine fire calls, 1,605 or 16% were structural fires.
These structural fires are categorized into residential and commercial buildings. The brigade also responded to a total of 1,229 residential fires, which represents 76.5% of the total number of structural fires responded to throughout the year.
Other calls responded to included special services, false alarms with good intent, malicious false alarms, and medical emergencies. As it regards call distribution, St. Catherine was the most active division, followed by Kingston and St. Andrew and Westmoreland. And finally, a recent survey has revealed that 45% of Caribbean Maritime University's CMU students secure employment before graduating. The Tracer study of CMU graduates 2019 to 2023 was conducted by the university's research department over a 3-month period in 2024. It was done to assess the employment outcomes of recent CMU graduates, evaluate the effectiveness of its programs, and identify areas for improvement in preparing students for the workforce. Manager for Institutional Research and Business Intelligence at CMU, Dr. Lana Gay Franklin Green, shared the findings during a recent JIS think tank. The data shows that 74% of graduates were employed within 6 months of graduation, with 80% securing jobs by the 9-month mark. Of the 994 participants, 99% of them were Jamaicans.
However, we did have participants from other Caribbean countries, such as Antigua, Bahamas, Barbados, and we also had 2 Americans, Chinese and Nigerians, who participated in the study.
Dr. Franklin Green says the findings emphasized the importance of program suitability in attracting and retaining students. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.